What's good with y'all young boys? That was Gamer back in the building. You already know who it is, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. This is probably gonna be like my like last video of the year. I got a whole lot of changes coming, but I'm only here to laugh at Kofi. This is Kofi. If y'all don't know, this is the biggest Detroit Pistons fan, and that's a sad thing to say. I ain't gonna lie. Just even thinking about that, I ain't gonna lie, bro. He going through it, man. The Pistons, man, to be the worst team in NBA history in 2023, right? It's almost 2024. I always thought those Bobcats in like 2011 would be, what they had like 9 wins on the year, bro. Like, you, y'all remember those Warriors? I went 70. Well, what was it? 70, 72-9 or whatever, 71-9. It was something like that, right? To be the exact opposite of that, I thought we'll never see again, right? Because like the talent in the league is crazy now. You know what I'm saying? You can't really win a championship with just like 3 All-Stars on your team no more, man. Because everybody got 3 All-Stars. I ain't gonna say everybody. Them Pistons, yeah, man. I don't even want. We just here to laugh at his pain. I really shouldn't be laughing because my Bulls probably break their losing streak, bro. They'll win against the Bulls, bro. They'll win by 15 against the Bulls at that.
For those of you that clicked
really
on the video today,
laughing,
hello and welcome. I'm sure that you're either a Detroit Pistons fan or an NBA fan trying to wrap your head around what the Detroit Pistons have been up to for the last 4 years, or your YouTube algorithm is just going ham. But no matter how you found this video and found this channel, hello, welcome on in, and I'm glad that you're here. And it's really an interesting phenomenon because I feel like, I can't speak for Detroit Pistons fans, but I feel like a lot of Detroit Pistons fans are in a very weird spot. And what I'm saying is that we did not expect to come into this season being the center of media attention in the NBA. For the last 3 years, the Detroit Pistons have like not been on national TV games.
That's true.
And that's been like even longer than this 4-year stretch. Like the Pistons aren't like a national TV draw. Like we weren't getting NBA TNT games like handed to us for Andre Drummond and Brandon Jennings. All right, but I was not expecting for us to be so bad that we were talked about on First Take. A couple of weeks ago, Michael Wilbon, this was like NBA Countdown or something. I forget the name. It's like the ESPN ABC NBA show.
Pretty much.
And I know the Pistons weren't playing on ESPN because they weren't given a game. But they had like a game break. And Michael Wilbon could not name 2 Detroit Pistons players. It was just Cade Cunningham. He could not name a single other Detroit Pistons player.
Lively.
And I'm not trying to say this to call him out, but the national basketball media, on TV at least, hasn't been paying attention to the Detroit Pistons over the last couple of years.
That's true.
And why would they?
Exactly.
The Detroit Pistons, those wouldn't show up on TV segments. That's not on the A block or B block. For those of you that don't work in TV or never like worked in TV, the A block is like the first segment of the show, and then you have a break, and then you get to the B block, and yada yada. I went to broadcast journalism. I went to school for broadcast journalism, and while I don't use my degree a lot, I figured I should just tell you that. So,
trying to flex?
You know,
aren't you a
all
Detroit
these
Pistons fan?
NBA national media outlets
sorry,
or whatever, they chase the ratings. They chase the interesting story. And for a long time now, a lot of fans of lesser covered teams have been begging for national media coverage, national media flowers. Oh, give credit to my team. Stop showing Alex Caruso Lakers highlights, Bleacher Report. And here's the thing, as someone that has been in sports media for 6-7 years, I have a lot of friends that work at Bleacher Report. I have a lot of friends that work at ESPN. And
do you?
I'm not.
Hey,
this is not to talk to them.
Kofi.
I'm not talking to them, the
All right,
employee.
well connections.
I'm talking to them, the employer, right? I know that you got to do what you got to do. You got to cover what makes the cash. You got to cover what makes the money. I know that I go a long time in these YouTube videos without telling people to subscribe and hit the like button, but that really helps me out, and I appreciate it.
Yep, you already know, man.
So please do that. I just wish that from a higher up perspective that we could spread the wealth a little bit more, because I feel like there isn't a cap on how many social media posts you can post a day. And I know that I'm being unreasonable because there's so many teams to cover, so many players to cover. It's hard to, especially in today's NBA.
How you gonna have Detroit,
so
bro? How did I just realize that? How you gonna have Detroit highlights in the background, bro? They don't even have highlights, bro. It's K Cunningham and the boys, man.
Absurd stat lines on a game in, game out basis that it's hard to cover everybody. But as a Pistons fan, I was not expecting any national TV attention for the entire year. Right. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting us to win like 25 to 30 games, go incredibly under the radar, and just keep on pushing this upwards. However, this has become a losing streak so demoralizing to the players, and it's just an absolute embarrassment to the franchise. A franchise, again, that really hasn't made any sort of NBA splash in 15 years. Like,
yo, can I say this real quick? Okay. Post 04, right? I don't know, other than like Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, I don't know like Brandon Jennings, like you said. I don't know any other like good Pistons players from like 04 on. Truthfully. Oh my gosh. I'm laughing. They got a title in the 2000s, bro. My Bulls ain't won since Jordan, bro. Ain't even come close to winning, bro. But at least we've been making moves, you know what I'm saying? The moves that we made were, questionable to even begin with, but moves were moves, you know what I'm saying? I think these Pistons, the crazy thing about this team, bro, and everybody knows it by now, if you've been listening to the media, YouTubers, streamers, whatever, who talk about this, they don't even have, on paper, they don't have bad talent, right? But they have a terrible team, because nothing, Kofi, he mentioned in his previous video. Now I should have recorded, because it was too funny. I ain't gonna lie. On paper, this team literally doesn't make sense, right? You have, first of all, I don't believe Cade Cunningham should be running the one. I think he should be a 2 guard, honestly. You give like Lively the PG role, because truth be told, the only thing I can say on Cade Cunningham's game, other than his outstanding scoring, is his outstanding way he loses the ball all the time. Everybody, if you've seen any Pistons game, I'm sorry you had to go through that. If you've ever seen the Pistons game, I apologize you had to go through that. But he loses the ball like in the most ignorant ways possible, and he gets away with it because it's the Pistons. You know what I'm saying? And he's in no way is Cade Cunningham the problem. In every way, it's the coaching, which is crazy, because he's not even a bad coach, but for this team, he's the worst. It's crazy. All right, again, they have talent across the board, really. And honestly, if they were on different teams, right, they would all of them would be contributing to any other team except for the one they're on, right? And that's like so hard. Like it's painful for me. Even like I'm laughing at I don't like the Pistons, bro. it's just a sad existence when you come into the season expecting to be like um just outside of the play-in tournament, but making progress from last year. Maybe your ceiling for this year is the play-in tournament, and you'll lose in the first round, because of course you will. But to be the worst team statistically, right, in the NBA, and by the season's end, most likely in NBA history, that's another.
Since Obama
That's another. I can't even, bro.
was in office. Like the time
Since
that
Obama
was in office. Like first term Obama.
Go on, Kofi, man.
Mind
I'll
you,
let you finish up. I'm sorry.
this team is used to just dealing in not irrelevancy, but dealing in like not having a lot of their moves heavily scrutinized by like the national media. If any other, sorry, not any other, but there are a lot of basketball teams where if all you got in free agency this year was Joe Harris and Monty Morris and re-signing Isaiah Stewart, if you swap the Pistons like logo and whatever with another team's logo, it's likely that they would get a segment on like ESPN being like, why are they not doing anything in free agency? And it's not a theory being like, are small market teams allowed to just go under the radar and just make all of these mistakes because they don't fear the national backlash?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true, because big market teams also make those kinds of mistakes all the time.
But then they get crucified for it.
They just get scrutinized more, and I feel like a lot of these front offices don't really pay attention to how the media thinks about them, because it's mostly negative all across the board. Because again, the discourse is championship or you're not doing your job or whatever. I was not expecting the Detroit Pistons to be a league pass alert for like fans of the entire league. Fans of every team are now tuning into the Detroit Pistons, and there are some good things about this. People are finally like recognizing how good Cade Cunningham is, but they're also realizing how much help Cade Cunningham needs, and how many players on this roster have been put into impossible situations. Like, this deck is stacked against this roster, and it's not the actual roster. It's the people constructing the roster. Troy Weaver has had a string of just questionable moves, and if you clicked on any other Pistons YouTube video, you know every day the Sadiq Bey for James Wiseman trade looks absolutely horrendous.
First of all,
James Wiseman just isn't an NBA player. Now, I will say, when Troy Weaver drafted,
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sadiq Bey, he was like easily their second best player, right behind K, right? He was easily their best player, right behind K, bro. And the fact that I can't even, bro. Go ahead,
Killian Hayes and Isaiah Stewart and Sadiq Bey. A lot of people praised him for it. People wanted Killian Hayes.
Why?
Some people wanted Halliburton, but I can't Monday morning quarterback this thing, because there were some people that were like, this is actually a really good draft. Now, fast forward to 3 years, this situation was so draining, apparently, that a former NBA Coach of the Year, Dwayne Casey, was just like, yo, you got me. I don't want to coach this team anymore. And I wonder if that's happening with Monty, right?
It has to be.
Monty now understands the situation that he's in and realizes how draining it truly is. I don't know. I don't know if Monty took this job and then, like, 2 weeks in realized that, oh my God, there's a lot more work that needs to be done, and a lot of it's just outside of my control. You know, Monty is trying to build a Lego set with pieces missing, and there's like some Lincoln logs thrown in. You can't build Lego with Lincoln logs, okay? They just don't mesh. And even if they do mesh, it just looks terrible. You know? I could go on a tangent on how I think Lincoln Logs are just unfun toys as a kid. Oh, you built another cabin? Yippee. I'm sorry, I'm an only child. Just bear with me here.
I'll bear with you,
All
bro.
I'm waiting for
I'll bear
right
with you.
now is an Inside the NBA Pistons segment. I know someone tweeted about this, but like, yeah, we are one legendary Inside the NBA Pistons segment away from this being just complete, right? I need Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley to just roast our team into oblivion. But I feel like we just don't criticize the front office enough. And they've been able to hide behind Monty Williams and some of his bizarre choices. But some of Monty Williams' bizarre choices are because of how poorly the roster is constructed.
Right.
So it's a kind of ongoing cycle, poor decisions that cause more poor decisions. It's like an absolute snowball. And the more I think about it, the more Tom Gore's like quotes and stuff really bugged me because he was like, "We're doing everything right besides winning games." Are you serious, my man? My brother, you own the team. It's a basketball team. Telling a bunch of fans of a basketball team that like, oh yeah, we're doing a lot of great things in the community. That you just asked for us to get memed after that. Because you know what team does great stuff for the community?
Every
Every
team.
team.
Every
Do
team.
y'all remember? I think NBA Cares still exists. I'm
Yeah.
still talking. I was thinking about NBA Read to Achieve. I don't know if Read to Achieve still exists, but NBA Cares exists. That's the whole league, Tom. Just an absolute lack of awareness that's on full display. Like even like the casual fan. Like I've been seeing YouTube videos. My algorithm is cooked, by the way. I've seen YouTube videos where popular like gaming creators and non-sports creators are like now talking about this because this now you don't even have to know about the NBA or even sports to know that this team is really bad. Like we're this Detroit Pistons team will be a Jeopardy question. Give it some time. It's going to be on Jeopardy because this year's season's performance has been etched in stone. It is immortalized in the history books of the NBA and the general public. And this doesn't, and unlike everything else that the Pistons have been doing for the last 4+ years, it's not going under the radar.
It's not.
We all can see it. We all know. People have had Pistons games marked on their calendars now because every game feels like a playoff game now. In terms of like, will this streak actually end? The overtime to the Celtics. That the last time I seen a game that intense was like in the in-season tournament. Like every Pistons game is an in-season tournament game now somehow. And even
Rico,
if the losing streak breaks, we still need
And,
more
oh my.
public criticism
Hold on.
of
How? Watch this, bro. Here's the three teams the Pistons will beat to break the streak. Right? It's either going to be the Lakers somehow. It's going to be the Bulls, most likely, and it's probably going to be a Jazz. Honestly. Other than that, maybe the Cavs. They might have just an off defensive night, and they might let one of the five bigs on the team get 20 points. Why do the Pistons have like five centers, bro? Like
this
what is
front
going
office
on?
because
They running
you
twin
have,
tower
you have to hold them
lineups, bro,
accountable,
and
they
neither of the
cannot
towers
keep
can
getting away
contribute,
with their
bro.
awful decisions. I what makes me sad is that I know that there are people that don't follow basketball, don't really follow sports, that are gonna assume that a Pistons are like historically a perennial bottom dweller, when in fact like this organization has 3 championships and like some of the coolest championship rosters. There's
Watch
so
out.
much history in this Detroit Pistons. There's so much. And I know it's not like the Lakers with like 18 banners, but like this is a pretty great franchise, like in terms of fan base, in terms of history, in terms of legends that have played for this
I
team.
can say the same
But
about the
for a
Bulls,
lot
bro.
of us, it's been so long since we've seen that. It's been 15 years since the Pistons have won a playoff game.
Oh,
Because
this
even though
man
we've
is
made
in
the playoffs and
pain,
gotten
bro.
swept twice after that, like, think about how long 15 years is, bro. There are people next year that are about to take driver's ed that haven't seen the Pistons win a playoff game. When I put it like that, that's kind of crazy, right? Yeah, but my biggest fear is that the Pistons might like rally off a couple of wins, but no matter what the Pistons record is at the end of the year, something has to be done. We can't just look at the final win and be like, "Oh, the Pistons, oh, they actually won 11 games." Get people out of here. It's been year 4. This is year 4. This is not like a Cavs team that just lost LeBron. This is
Right.
not like a Sixers team
That's
that,
true.
like, we didn't lose a star, we gained our best player back, and we're somehow a worse team. I feel like that, in and of itself, is the grounds of clearing house in the front office.
Okay, hold on.
Where are the
Wait,
Bobcats?
wait. Thank you, bro. Yeah, go back.
For those of you that
Shut up. Alright. Real quick, before I close out, Kofi, man, that man's going through pain, bro. I can't lie, bro. The face of the Detroit Pistons, bro. I don't know any other creator that is like that's like the Pistons is their team, you know what I'm saying? Um but this it's the same issues that plague a lot of organizations and or not maybe not a lot, but the bottom dwellers of the league. The Magic, the Bulls, the Pistons, um not necessarily any other team that I can think of. The Wizards. The Wizards. But even in the Wizards make moves, right? The Wizards make moves. They got Russ a few years ago. They have, unfortunately, Kuzma and the other one that shall not be named. They make moves. The front office make moves. You know what I'm saying? The Bulls, they made moves too. They made moves to be, the first round exit that anytime we hit the playoffs will be. Um, but these Pistons, man, the only notable thing that they've done in the last 10 years is get Blake Griffin from the Clippers. That's it, bro. That's it. That's it, bro. That's the only move that I've ever paid attention to that at least I know. Maybe I don't know ball, but these Pistons, man, the whole organization needs help. They need to, get out of their own way. They're like it's like with old people. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't, the saying. You can't teach an old dog new tricks or whatever. You clearly can't teach this front office how to be a front office. Uh, that's all I want to say, man. I don't even want to. I ain't gonna clown them too hard, bro. I'm sorry for you, Kofi. Stay safe, man.